just want to ask you, maybe take it back a little bit, just to kind of get your memories about attending the whiteout as a prospect. I know you had already made your college decision by the time you did that, but I'm just curious, what was that? What do you remember about that night? And, how important was that night in your recruitment as a whole? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a really big night, really big game for recruits. It was a really big night for me because obviously it was my first, one of my first whiteouts in person. And just being able to experience the energy, it was really big in my recruiting process. It was just a big moment.
Tyler Donahue.
Hey, Caedan, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. We saw you out in front of the team walking into Beaver Stadium. You were encouraging the fans. Last time you had a chance to do that, you were just a true freshman, a reserve player. Can you tell us how your status on this roster has changed in year 3?
I mean, yeah, definitely being a starter is more fun than being a reserve player. It's definitely more fun to just interact with the fans. Having them back was pretty historic after not having them for about 2 years. And just the energy from them is awesome. We didn't have that last year, so being able to have a team walk out with all those people there, I just really wanted to bring the noise, I guess. So it was fun.
New Bias Wellborn.
Caedan, how you doing, man? Thanks for doing this, bro.
I appreciate you.
Respect. For you guys, what does it mean to y'all that James can be so transparent when it comes to addressing coaching searches? And what does it mean that he's always seems to be in these conversations as far as schools wanting him?
Well, I mean, in terms of what's going on right now, we're not really paying attention to it. We're just focused on this week. But I mean, Coach Franklin's always been, open and honest with us. He's just a great guy to have around. We love him. So, yeah.
John Petishna.
Hey, thanks, Chelsea. How you doing today, Caedan?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Hey, wanted to get your thoughts on Arnold Ebiketie. I don't know how often you go up against him directly in practice, but what is it about him as a DN that kind of, makes him stand out and has allowed him to have an impact early on?
Yeah, AK is just, he's really good. He takes coaching really well. And I think him and Coach Scott and him and Dion have gotten together and they just have been working a lot of stuff. And he's just really fast. He's good with his hands. He's just a great all-around athlete. And it's just, I mean, honestly, it is great going against him in practice. Just being able to learn from him. He learns from us. So it's just a great relationship to have.
John Sauber.
Hey, Caedan, you guys have had 2 games sort of to work under Coach Yursich. Where do you guys feel like you're at as an offense, and what does the next step forward look like?
I mean, we have a saying in the room that we're just stepping, we're just continuing to go. So obviously we're not, where we can be yet, but, every week we're getting better and we're just learning. And that's what Coach Yursich is all about, just improving every week, coming out every day at practice and getting better. And yeah, that's the approach we've been taking to it.
Tyler Donahue.
Caedan, what can you tell us about Eric Wilson since he arrived from Harvard back in May? And what has he done to put himself in a spot to become the starter at left guard?
Yeah, Eric's a really smart guy. That plays a lot into it. He's really good with the playbook. He's really intuitive, and he's starting to come around to a lot of Troutwine's techniques and stuff like that. So he's just really shaping as an athlete. He's always been a great competitor. So he's just really starting to fill into his shoes more.
New Bias Wellborn.
Oh, okay. Technology is awesome. What have you seen that you've learned from battling against Jesse Luketa on the field, but then also hanging out with him off the field?
Yeah, Jesse's a big competitor. So it's really fun to go against him in practice. Same thing with AK, because they're always going to try something new. They really want the win. So it's really good for me to work my techniques and just fall back on what I've been learning. But like I said, he's just a really big competitor. He's just really like a winner. I guess he's dead set on winning. Like the play he made this weekend, you got to have the right mindset to make plays like that. It's a pretty good play.
Daniel Gallen.
Hey, Caedan, this morning, Parker Washington was talking to us about how the versatility of the offense makes it, a lot of fun to play in for him and other skill guys. Does that extend to the offensive line as well? Do you kind of feel that same level of I guess, fun in the system?
Yeah, we have fun. We have a lot of fun with it. Because, you guys have seen Coach Ursh's is a little eccentric, so to speak. So it's really fun to just be out there getting the plays that he's calling and just being like, all right, yeah. And these past few weeks has been working. So it's just he's a great coach to have. He's a really fun guy.
Tyler Donahue.
Yeah, Caedan, with a full year working under Coach Troutwine after not having that last year, like how quickly were you guys able to build progress compared to what last year when you're hanging around waiting to get in pads?
I feel like last year we did have the time where we weren't in pads and we were on Zoom trying to learn. I feel like we made steps then, but definitely being with him every day, we're just taking strides every day. Coach Troutwine's a really big like no talent thing guy. So like just doing like the little things he's really big on. So being in person with him is much easier to keep up with that. And obviously being on the field with him, having him stand right next to you and telling you techniques and stuff is a little better than being on Zoom. So we've been taking strides every day. And I feel like that's what's important.
All right, that's all the time we have for Caedan today. Thank you, everyone.